Well, good morning from a lovely spring day. Oh, I've got to uncover the microphone again. Keep covering it with my pinky to hold the phone nice. Good morning from another beautiful day in Paris. It's 11 o'clock, which means it's about 5 o'clock where most of our Canadian and American friends live. Today's topic is, what the hell is going on? As much as any of you guys know, we lived in Toronto, and we took off on a boat in 2018 and went to the Caribbean and sailed around for a long time. And in 2023, about this time almost, we moved ashore in St. Martin, and we had a really good time and enjoyed ourselves tremendously. And it was really the second in a row of dreams. We had dreamed long before going sailing, we had dreamed of living in St. Martin. So that was a dream achieved, as well as going sailing. That was a dream achieved. So after 7 years of living two dreams in a row, what's going on? Well, I guess St. Martin, when we moved ashore, never really felt that permanent to us. It was like a way to spend some time, perhaps. Now, 2 years later, it really felt like it was time for a change. Some of the prompting is, last summer in St. Martin was so darn hot, it really wasn't any fun anymore. And you couple that with the fact that the utility company was having a terrible time with their generator system, and we were having blackouts once or twice a day for 2 or 3 hours at a time, so no air conditioning in the height of the heat. It was pretty tough to take. Also, after a couple of seasons of sitting still through hurricane season, that kind of tension didn't sit well with me. Every day you're checking the weather super carefully, 2 or 3 times a day, just making sure you're safe. That, I think, gets really, really wearisome. But I have to say, any of you who are in the South, you have to know about Mr. Weatherman on YouTube. He is the greatest every single day, telling you what's going on, giving you the outlooks. He was fantastic for us. I'd like to send him a note. I got to remember to send him a note, because he was so valuable to us. So between the heat and the hurricane and the power going out and an increasingly overdeveloped island, it seemed like it was time to go. So we're out of St. Martin. We left this past week, Sunday, 4 days ago. So what's the plan? Well, we're here in beautiful Paris, France, for only a month. It's a great place to visit. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it after a whole month, because it is, well, it's on the one, it's pretty expensive, though. We've just come from St. Martin, where it's really expensive. I don't know if I can find a place that I would like to live for less than about 4,000 euros a month. So that's pretty spendy, and going out for dinner every time you go, it's 100 euros. So it's not really approachable for regular folk. But we're going to have a month, and we're going to see some museums and stuff. We haven't been to any museums yet because of, where is Mr. Monkey? He had more than 10 or 12 hours in the crate the other day on the flight, so I think that was a bit traumatic. So we didn't want to put him back in the crate and leave him alone for, we wanted to give him a few days to chill out and calm down. So we haven't been in any museums yet. So what's the plan? This is getting too long. The plan is, at the end of the month, we're going to a place in the country, in a town called Ritchard, not Lourdes, but Ritchard. A very tiny hamlet in middle of France, and we're going to see what the countryside life is like. So we've got a couple of months there. That gives us the opportunity to look for a long-term rental for maybe a year or so, and we'll take that year to really drive around a lot and experience the countryside and see if we can find a place in the country where we'd like to settle down. We have fantasies of a little tiny farm with maybe some goats and some donkeys and certainly some chickens. And if I have my way, a couple of motorbikes. But, we've been city mice pretty well our whole life. So we kind of have to find out if that's going to work for us. So there's the plan. Why did we leave St. Martin? Well, it was kind of time. What are we doing in France while we're hanging around in Paris for a month? Boy, if I could manage it. I love it here. And then we're going to try the countryside. And end up in the country on a little farm perhaps, with even a guest house. So if any of you guys wanted to go visit France and see some donkeys, you might have a chance to stay in the guest house. It's tremendously affordable in the countryside in France. You can buy fantastic properties for 250,000 euros, 300,000 euros. If you have 400,000 euros, you can buy magnificent properties in the countryside. So we're looking forward to doing some shopping. Anyway, I'm sorry, this is 5 minutes and 6, 7, 8 seconds now, way too long. This is Richard in Paris. Thank you for watching. Say goodbye to Charlie. Charlie, here you go, buddy. Look in here. Okay, never mind. See ya.